morning. My name is Alessio D'Onofrio. I am from Pescara, Italy, and I am a PhD student in architecture in the University of Pescara. What I am going to present today are the intermediate results of my ongoing PhD research called System Design for Territorial Cycle Tourism. It's an ongoing research that wants to demonstrate the possibility to obtain the enhancement of fruition and valorization of a territory heritage through the definition of an advanced system model applied to cycle tourism. The presentation is divided into 5 main parts. First of all, I'd like to talk about the phenomenon of ecotourism and bicycle tourism as a tool for accessing the numerous natural, cultural, and historic artistic resources offered by a territory. Then I will describe the definition of the state-of-the-art of cycle tourism, followed by the definition of the cycle tourist's main characteristics and to definition of the cyclist needs. Then I like to briefly show the criteria, tools and methods of system design and system innovation employed by the research. Finally, this presentation foreshadows what could be a possible scenario for the ongoing development of an integrated and coherent combination of cycle tourism service and product design for the enhancement of territorial heritage. Before starting the dissertation, I'd like to briefly talk about the background of the research. The main subject is cycle tourism and its related systems as a possible sustainable solution to the fruition and mobility of tourists in territorial areas. The main issue is the development and enhancement of territorial resources with an environmental sustainability and socio-economic equity perspective. Finally, the research field is the strategic design for sustainability and in particular of system design. The phenomenon of ecotourism developing in the early years of the new millennium is driven by the need to reconcile access to natural, cultural and social resources with their conservation. According to the most commonly accepted definition provided by the International Ecotourism Society, ecotourism is now defined as responsible travel to natural areas that conserves the environment, sustain the well-being of the local people, and involves interpretation and education. The latest studies and researches shows how ecotourism is a growing phenomenon worth 12 billion euro per year, with the bicycle being the preferred activity for the second consecutive year. Bicycle tourism has leaped to the top of the list of the activities preferred by tourists at 30%, surpassing backpacking and trekking. Given this socio-cultural perspective of sustainable tourism and ecotourism, bicycle tourism represents a strategic opportunity for testing new forms of tourism and technologically appropriate service and product concepts. In 2012, bicycle tourism in Europe registered more than 2 million trips and 20 million room reservations for a total value of 44 billion euro. In Italy, the potential value of bicycle tourism is estimated at 3.2 billion euro per year. Given the projected growth of bicycle tourism, there is a need to improve a number of aspects. Intermodal connections with other transportation systems, such as rail, river, and maritime networks, favoring the realization of interconnection between different bicycle tourism itineraries, developing bike hotels, creating services and products for bicycle tourism that favors inclusion, accessibility, and safety. Nowadays, bike sharing systems are present in all major cities around the world, representing a sustainable solution to transportation. Thanks to different efficient transport modes combination, they help citizens, commuters, and tourists to move in a sustainable way. Current solutions to bike sharing present a number of critical elements, above all for users with low to medium physical preparation. They do not favor this form of mobility in hilly and mountainous areas with challenging topographies. On the other hand, they are unsuitable to favoring extra urban mobility and long-distance travel, both for the characteristics of the bike themselves and the quality and specialization of the services offered. Strategies for the valorization of territorial resources require new forms of sustainable tourism and ecotourism based on solutions for bicycle tourism that are highly inclusive, accessible, and safe. This means rethinking integrated services and products using a system design and design for all approach. But the feasibility of new extra-urban bike sharing solution can now be guaranteed by technological innovation in the field of propulsion systems. By exploiting the potential of e-bike sharing, is it possible to expand the target market to include those whose abilities vary in relation to age, culture, and physical preparation? Moreover, recent evolution in photovoltaic technologies make it possible to charge batteries using renewable energies such as solar and wind power. In order to define the current state of the art of cycle tourism, the research has been addressed towards the analysis of four main bike-related topics: economy, infrastructures, intermodality, bike-related services. Economy. The collected data gave an estimate of the size and the direct economic impact of current cycling activities in Europe and in Italy, excursion, cyclical journeys, annual revenues, etc., but also the economic value of the production of bicycle in Italy, exports and related industries. Infrastructures. The data have provided the dimension and the capillarity of the infrastructural network linked to cycle tourism in Italy and Europe, with particular attention to the high traffic propensity cycling networks, landscape, monumental, food and wine, etc. Intermodality. The search for information has been addressed considering it in two main aspects: transporting the bike on other vehicles and exchanging the bike with other vehicles. The collected data gave an overview of the possible interaction between Italian and European transport between bikes and other vehicles. Bike-related services. The information was collected with the aim of defining the current status of the services linked to cycle tourism and their presence on Italian and European territory. The data obtained allowed us to identify the types: receptivity, refreshment, bike sharing services, assistance, rescue information, and possible interaction between them. After the data interpretation phase, the research focused on the specific characteristics of the cycle tourism, starting from the identification of the typologies and then to the definition of the cyclist needs. The typologies of cycle touring have been identified through the definition of the following parameters: journey time, excursion, short stay, holiday. Typologies of cycle tourism: guided, self-guided, self-supported. Type of cycling tourist: proximity cyclist, daily cyclist, vacation cyclist, explorer cyclist, sports cyclist. Typologies of journey: we can distinguish two types of travel or itinerary based on the place of overnight stay: star pattern, ring, or open. The common basic needs are essentially those of the restoring, resting and sleeping, taking every opportunity to increase one's culture, to relax and enjoy oneself, and above all, to obtain the necessary information to undertake and lead the journey to the end. The cyclist's needs have been identified through the definition of the following parameters: obtaining information, refreshment, rest, infrastructures, assistance and first aid, culture, leisure, relax. Currently, the research is heading towards the definition of the product brief, concept design, and concept development. The methodological process used in this last phase is the method for system design for sustainability, developed by the System Design and Innovation for Sustainability Research Unit of the Indaco department at the Milan Polytechnic. The MSDS method is based on phases of strategic analysis, analysis of context and case studies, the exploration of opportunities for innovation, system ideas and design-oriented scenario, and a set of tools: system-oriented scenario, stakeholder motivation matrix, system map, and interaction table that will help the ongoing definition of the health system concept and the sustainability assessment. Specifically, the stakeholder motivation matrix is being used to define the role and contribution that each actor can bring to the partnership in general and to each single actor in particular. The offering diagram is being used to define the functions provided by the system to users. The interaction table will visualize and describe the sequence of the principal action carried out by the user while the services are being provided. Finally, the system map supports the design and visualization of the structure of the proposed system, describing the actors involved and their relative interaction. Although the research has still not reached the final definition of an advanced system model applied to cyclotourism, this paper tried to foreshadow what could be a possible future cyclotourism system scenario. An improved e-bike sharing system in accordance with Design for All criteria. Connected and implemented bicycle routes by exploiting rivers, valleys, and decommissioned roads and railway lines. Cycle routes provided with more sustainable supporting services and structures, bike hotels, bike restaurants, bike parking, proper signage. Implementing the intermodal connection with rail, bus, and ferries, communicating the vision toward the territory and promoting the product to the general public. Specifically, the research is evaluating the feasibility as well as the potential effectiveness of a system that incorporates specific features described as follows. An e-bike sharing system comprised of rental station, interactive information totems, solar battery charging station, and variable geometry frames e-bikes. The different configuration of the bikes makes it possible to adapt the e-bikes to different uses, tourism, sport, and different users' body conformations. A safer and secure route infrastructure network provided with intelligent lighting and monitoring systems for bicycle pedestrian paths along the cycle routes, consisting in a linked network of intelligent poles equipped with technological devices such as motion sensors, optical smoke detectors, Wi-Fi antennas, video cameras, and weather stations. A diffuse hospitality through a smart modular platform for outdoor cyclist accommodation, using modular and energy self-sufficient platform modules, provided with bedroom, bicycle storage, and mini repair shop, toilet, bicycle washing station, washer-dryer, photovoltaic system, relax area. A smart green market system that offers local food and wine products in different dining areas, fast food for takeaway by bicycle, areas for longer and more comfortable poses. In conclusion, all the successful experience demonstrates that cyclotourism needs safe spaces and infrastructures, a dedicated product and a consequent communication that knows how to enhance the territory and pierce the imaginary of potential customers. Designing for cyclotourism means planning a system that brings out the qualities of the territories. Bicycle routes should enhance the hidden territories qualities that only with a slow pace can really emerge and be enjoyed. Planning a cyclotourism system should take into consideration how to read the territory, the historical signs, the landscape, and present them in such a way that they are attractive to the contemporary tourists. The infrastructures, as well as the e-bike sharing system, should be designed for different users with different abilities and of diverse ages. The design and execution of the infrastructure should go hand in hand with the creation of a product that knows how to put together all the stakeholders who will have to sell it and make it competitive of the market. The communication of the vision toward the territory and the promotion of the product to the general public are two important aspects that need to be implemented in a strategic way in order to attract tourists in a specific territory. Lastly, particular attention should be given to all those aspects that can decrease the attractiveness of a cycle tour, such as signage, connection to the public transport and intermodality, support services and reception to the cyclist. Thank you very much for your attention.